Perfect. I knew something was missing. So hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for coming and attending. This is finally session 3 of business planning. We've been doing this for months, I feel like, right? And here we are already launched. It's already January 12th of 2023. I can't even believe it. It's amazing, right? So a show of hands, people out there on Zoom and people in the room, how many of you actually participated in the first 2 sessions? Amazing. So we have 3 people in the room. Awesome. So is there anybody out there that just attended 1 session? And if so, which one? Kim, you didn't attend any.
This is my first session.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Now, Kim hasn't attended any of the other sessions. However, what I'm going to say is they do build on each other.
Right.
There was some incredible information that we went over in the first 2 sessions. First session was launched by Tamara. Hi, come on in and join us. The first session was launched by Tamara, and Tamara did some incredible work with everybody, getting us to manifest our vision, right? Like, why do we get up out of bed every morning to get beat up by buyers and sellers? What are we doing out here? You know, let's listen to the news, and it's not going to make you want to get out of your bed every morning, right? But we all have a why and a vision, and there's so much more out there in life. And Tamara just did an incredible job connecting us to that, you know, and she's one of the most soulful and insightful people I know. So she is the perfect person to like deliver that message and take us to places. Would you agree, Cookie?
Yes, absolutely.
Cookie had a fabulous moment with her. And then we went to Cody, which, come on, we got to get to the nuts and bolts of this. We got spreadsheets and we got pie charts. And I think my favorite part of Cody's session, which I really, really want to touch on, was Cody asked everybody in the room, whether you were on Zoom or in the room, to come up with a contract for yourself. It was basically, you can call it an elevator pitch, you can call it a legacy to live up to, but he got everybody thinking, and he inspired everybody to come up with some words that would denote the type of agent they wanted to be, what they wanted to be known for, and then come up with a sentence or a couple sentences that would be a contract around that. Does anybody remember that piece of it?
I remember that.
I have a lot of head nodding in the room. How about out there in Zoom? Yep, absolutely. So it was interesting. So if you had to pick 5 words that you were most confident in, maybe that word could be like impactful, knowledgeable, caring. And then what you did was you came up with a statement that you could say in a conversation with somebody that would immediately put you in a place of confidence to win the listing, win over the buyer, whatever it was, to stand in a place of authority in that position and to win more business, right? It's a very simple but impactful statement, if you will. So I was curious if anybody out there is actually using this incredible tool that was given to you, and if you could share about that. First, we'll ask in the room, and then we'll go on Zoom. Is there anybody in the room that's been using, does anyone in the room remember your statement?
Only because I wrote it down.
She wrote it down. We have a winner. Have you used it yet?
I haven't had to know. The current clients that I have, I will be going backwards if I get.
Okay. Do you mind sharing the statement with us?
Hopefully this is the right one. And all the transactions that I've done, what I've learned is each is very unique, and most blockers can be resolved. So give me the opportunity to partner with you and for you to realize your goals and objectives in your forever home or investment.
You're hired.
Wow,
I
I
didn't
love
break
the
it down.
confidence.
Were you guys able to hear that?
Yeah, it sounded confident. I liked it.
I mean, honestly, what kind of objections could you have at that point, right? So I would encourage you, if you missed that part, if you haven't actually committed that statement, and I like to call it a personal contract. It's a personal contract to yourself. If you haven't committed it into your beingness, right? Like to know something here is one thing, but you got to take it 12 inches here, right? Look in the mirror every day and say it, practice it, video yourself, sit your kids down at the dinner table, talk real estate, tell them your contract. It was a very, very impactful tool. So thank you, Cody. It's one that I'm incorporating for myself and everybody on the team, and it's incredibly beneficial. So Cody also went over all the numbers with you guys, right? Because what you have to do is you have to be cognizant of how much money do I need to put in my bank account every month to have the things that, first of all, be able to pay my bills, live comfortably, and have the things that I want to have. Money is nothing. Do you guys get that money has no emotion?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Money has no emotion. The only emotion around money is the emotion we attach to it. Money is just a means of transferring to get the things that your needs, wants, and desires, period. And as much as you open yourself up to the universe to receive money, you will receive money, right? So don't place any emphasis on money. Don't place an emphasis on the number that, oh, it's too big. I don't deserve that. I'm not capable. I have a fear of success. If you have any hang up around money, I'm going to suggest that you start working on that immediately, because it literally is just a number. It is a piece of paper, and don't let it own you. And I have been in the skids. I remember making $800 a paycheck twice a month. My first paycheck, I would get a money order for $400. That was half my mortgage payment. I would pay most of my bills. I had $23 left over for groceries. My second paycheck, I got the second money order for the rest of my mortgage payment, and I had $2 left over for groceries.
What? $25 for the month?
I ate at my mom's a lot. However, it's just a place. It is just a place. There is a means to the end. So be careful with your relationship with money. So when you're working on the goals, like Cody took us through this incredible spreadsheet where all the columns were, it's a good thing I didn't teach that class, right? All the columns are made to magically calculate numbers and all that wonderful stuff. And, pie charts alone, I look at a pie chart and my head explodes, right? But you want to find out how to do it, I'm with you. Let's go. So that's what we get to do today. We get to figure out where the rubber meets the road and how do we actually make this happen. So hopefully coming out of Cody's class, the second class, you all have a number, which is your one main objective goal, right? Either that's a number of transactions, or it's a dollar amount, gross commission income, net commission income, whatever it is, you should have your one ultimate goal, correct? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually develop a business plan for you around your skill sets, around your income generating activities that produce you the most income. Okay. And then after we get your business plan set, we're actually going to time block you. Okay. The reason we do these two things is, number one, oh, my business partner just took off early. That cheat. He just left the office. I just saw him flying by the window. Sorry to squirrel. The reason why we time block you, and we're going to get maniacal about it, is because structure will help you take a thought to a habit. Okay. So it's okay to think about things, right? But until you take that thought and make it a habit or that action, I'm going to reach out to 20 people a day. Until you take that action or that statement and make it a habit, it is not going to happen. So who's going to be accountable for you? You're all independent contractors, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So who is accountable for you? 100%. This is your business to fail or succeed in. And I know everybody in this room is capable of huge amounts of success, right? So to be more successful, that means what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what we do and what does and doesn't work. We're going to concentrate more on what does work, and we're going to do more of that. Okay. Now, if you're a brand new agent and you really don't have any experience based on, I don't know, I'm just kind of out here, like if the phone rings, I answer it, and, I ask for, if you don't really have any experience to draw from, you do now, because you're sitting in a room with 20 people that are all going to share their results with you. So in order to get this ball rolling, we want to get everybody's juices flowing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have my assistant Daniel write on the board. And then Lacey, if you could write in the chat box for me, while Daniel is writing on the board, I just want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you doing? What did you do last year, the year before, that you could say these action steps actually result in clients, which actually results in cash in my bank account, closed escrows, happy clients? Does that make sense? They could be anything from making phone calls, open houses, whatever it is, but we're going to get deep, and we're not stopping until we have 50 ideas. So don't go dark on me now. This is where we need participation. Okay. So Daniel, he's going to clear the board. We'll start in the room and then we'll go Zoom and then we'll bounce back and forth.
So Pam, do you want Zoomers to start putting in the chat their ideas as well right
Oh,
now?
they can put in the chat. Absolutely. But if something goes in the chat, let me know
I will. Mhm.
so that we can duplicate it on the board.
Okay, so Zoomers go crazy in the chat. Go ahead, drop in your ideas for money
Go.
making activities.
You guys have like any idea, have you guys ever done this before, but like what you like to focus on? Like examples of like farming, cold calling, stuff like that. What you got?
So I'm brand new, less than a year, but based on the first two prophecy meetings, right, in my own creative juices, I have 3 areas of focus. And yes, one is farming.
Farming. We got farming on the board.
And you got geo farming or like?
Let's just put farming. Let's go. We're popcorn. This is popcorn.
What else?
Farming.
Agent to agent.
Ooh, agent to agent business, which guys, this is huge in EXP. And I'm telling you, if you're not on workplace chat promoting yourself, you are missing business. Do you know how much business we closed last year in just referrals? Millions. Okay, we got networking events, community service,
Social media.
social media. I'll throw in there door knocking, get a little old fashioned. We had very dirty looks in the room.
Personal notes, like,
Oh, personal handwritten notes, handwritten notes.
As far as my farming.
What else?
Do we got anything going on Zoom?
We have phone calls.
Yes, we do. We've got
Hang on 1 second, Daniel.
we've got develop relationships with out-of-state agents for referrals. We kind of talked about that.
Okay,
Marketing,
then we're gonna throw in cold calls.
great.
So develop out-of-state agent relationships.
Gotcha.
No, can you write that on the board?
We got
Okay, awesome.
Marketing to FISBOs.
Marketing to FISBOs,
We mentioned open houses, right?
open houses.
Partnering with a lender,
Ooh, partner with the lender,
partnering with a title rep,
partner with title rep.
following up and touching base with your
Hallelujah. Following up, somebody finally said SOI. Hootie, what happened? Your whole entire session 2 was on SOI. That's like number 22 on the list.
Low hanging fruit.
Totally. We got going to classes,
Holding class.
holding classes. I apologize.
Because we have some smart people.
Absolutely. Be the information broker, right? Be the information broker.
What else?
Money making activities. What do you do in a day to lead generate? We've got KV Core. Does anybody do landing pages? Does anybody do any type of
Direct mail.
direct mail,
About circle prospecting.
circle prospecting? Daniel's an expert at it. We'll give you a full breakdown.
Businesses, reverse prospecting.
Business pop by.
Reverse prospecting. Does everybody know there's that tiny little function feature in the MLS where you can reverse prospect and you can see every agent who has set up a flash that your property has come into, and you could reach out to that agent directly. Reverse prospecting is gold. How about, so we've got SOI up there and I get it, but SOI is super broad. So how many of you actually like make phone calls to friends every day? Right, let's just say phone calls, follow up, network.
Yeah, we got cold calls.
Okay, well, I'm talking SOI calls.
So I'm talking to someone every day, by whatever means.
Perfect.
Yeah, we have a family chat. I'm reminding them of that. These people are in different states, so they get some
Mhm.
connections. I'm asking to get introduced to agents that they've already worked with in those states. So I can partner and get that.
Beautiful. Yep. You just want to stay in everybody's headspace.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Anything else? Any other means of
Facebook group post.
social media, so Daniel just put up something that was a little bit different, Facebook group posts. So like, for instance, right now, we have a house listed that would be a car lover's dream. It's got a 3-car garage over here. It's got like a 4-car garage on the other side with a drive-through, roll-up garage door on this one, roll-up garage door on the back. It's tall enough to put a car auto lift in. So we're stalking motorhead Facebook pages. In fact, Daniel's even going to caffeine and kilos, or coffee and cars, or something like that. Caffeine and kilos is a weightlifting group. Coffee and car show. So target marketing people for specific listings, right? Target market. Go right after the person that would be looking for a property like that.
And for farming too, like something, so you could do geo farming, or then you have people farming. Like Pam, for example, builds her business on like cops and metro, people like that, so get people farm too. That's where you get creative, like I think like first responders and everything, it's a great person, because most of them are qualified, they make good money. They've been at their job for a while, so that's where you could just work smarter.
So Daniel's talking about working smarter with farming right now, and he talked about 2 different types of farming. There's geo farming and there's people farming, right? So geo farming is going after a neighborhood or an area and prospecting to them over and over and over and over. People farming might be, police officers, first responders, veterans. One of my very good friends, Vicky Barrios, who a lot of you guys know, she has an affiliation and affection for veterans, her huge lineage of veterans in her family. So she understands vets and she understands their specific needs. So she pairs very well with them. And then just because she's so empathetic with vets, she would do specific community networking events and things of that nature that actually support them. So literally throughout the vet family, if you will, in Las Vegas, she's known as their favorite realtor because she does so much for them, right? So don't think of farming as only geography. Farming could also be people, which again is target marketing. Do we have anything else going on Zoom?
Yes, we've got find an attorney to get referrals.
Find an attorney, partner with an attorney, especially divorce attorneys. Sorry. Divorce and probate attorneys are great.
Yep. And then we also have getting involved in our community events, things like charities, school events, things like that.
Yep. Community events, charities, schools. Okay.
It's like,
Oh, yeah, festivals. Yeah.
Mhm.
Festivals.
Yeah, different groups.
like, being a veteran.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw one more up there, and that's to be a vendor at community events. So like if there's a farmer's market, I think that it's usually like $25 to rent a small vendor space. It's nothing, and if you wanted to set up there and just reach people, especially if that farmer's market is in a neighborhood you're farming, or if last year you sold 25 homes, but your average sales price was 350,000. And you're like, I can sell 25, 30 homes again, no problem. However, I want my average sales price to be 500,000 this year because I want to make more money and do about the same amount of work. Then you would geographically go into a farmer's market in a neighborhood that would insert you within that homeownership range, right? Yep. So I think we have an incredible list of money making activities. Is there anything out there? Does anyone have anything they're just burning to get on the board?
Pam, did we include things like attending industry events where you gain a lot of valuable, helpful information, like attending this business plan or attending the summit, which we have coming up in 2 months, our summit for all of Synergy and all the things throughout the year that you can attend?
No, but I'm so glad you brought that up because that's a winner. Collaborate, right? Collaborate. The only other thing I'm going to add up there, because I know that Daniel has it on his business plan this year that is working really, really well for us, is actually inserting yourself in a place the same time, the same day, every single week, where you will get to know people who hang there that are the type of caliber of people that you want to do business with. So like, I'll tell you right now, when I first got my membership to Lifetime up in Summerlin, it was the best $250 a month I ever spent. I mean, you know, Lifetime attracts, it's right in Summerlin, attracts pretty high net worth individuals. And I was working out every day at the same exact time, getting to know all the same people, running into people, you know, like that I hadn't seen for years. Oh my goodness, are you still in the industry? And now I'm getting business from it because I was inserting myself in a place where I would be commiserating, so to speak, in that instance, with people that I wanted to do business with, right? So, Daniel, where are you going every Friday?
I can't tell that.
Oh.
but,
Give it away. Give the secret sauce away.
every Friday, I go to Angel Park.
So every Friday.
And then on Tuesdays, I hang out at a Starbucks specifically that is the highest traffic Starbucks and the highest median income.
So every Friday, Daniel starts his day at Angel Park. So he's hanging out with golfers. He's hanging out with high net worth individuals. He gets a cup of coffee and he takes his laptop and he works. And now they're recognizing him. He's having conversations with these people because he's doing it over and over again, right? On Tuesdays, he's inserted himself into Starbucks where he just works. He just works from the Starbucks that has the most highest traffic Starbucks in Las Vegas in a high net worth zip code. So those types of things work as well. It's just something that you have to do over and over and over again and be committed to it. But, you know, if you could work from home or you could work in a high net worth golf course, it's up to you, you know? So, okay, I think we have some really great ideas of money making activities. So now what we're going to do is I put a couple sheets in the WhatsApp string, right? And so what we're going to do is we are going to go to the single page business plan. And for you guys, they're on the table. You can go ahead and grab them. And we're going to start working this out. We'll spend a little time thinking about, well, let me back up a little bit. The single page business plan is done as a 1-page business plan on purpose. Don't underestimate the power of it because it's not some 40-page booklet in a 3-ring binder. The best way to be most effective is to niche down hard, get committed to what you're going to do and do it over and over and over. Once you do it over and over and over, it will become a part of you. You can't calculate how beneficial an open house is by doing one open house and then not following up with the people who actually walk through the door. That's an unfair assessment, would you say? How many open houses would you have to do to actually see if it's beneficial or not? Lots, loads. Some of them are duds, some of them are fantastic. You know what I mean? We got a property right now that is one of the best properties on the planet for an open house just because of where it sits and how we can pull traffic. We have major section lines to pull traffic from, and they're right there. So we'll get them through all day long. There's some houses in the middle of Summerlin where you have to take 50 turns to get there and 42 roundabouts. There isn't enough signs for that, you know? So you're going to get some neighbors, but you're probably not going to get a lot of traffic beyond that, right? So you can't do one open house and say that you can justify whether an open house is a good return on investment. But if you put open houses in your business plan, you will be committed to them and you will be doing them at least twice a month, at least once a week, whatever it is for you, right? So now what I want you guys to do is I want you to take your paper and I want you to write your annual goal right here. Whatever that annual goal is that you came up with when you did the session with Cody. If you didn't do the session with Cody, put the number that your gut is telling you up there.
Think big.
Think big. So we always set SMART goals, right? I love think big, I do, right? But what is SMART? What does SMART stand for? What's the acronym stand for in SMART goals? Does anyone know out there in Zoom?
Smart, measurable, achievable. Realistic.
So we just got it in the room. So the S for specific, M is for measurable, attainable, but risky. And there has to be a time frame. So whenever you're setting goals for yourself, if you use the SMART system, just always think about that. You know, I want to lose weight. Is that specific?
No.
I could lose a pound and the universe is like, voila, you just lost weight. Done. You know what I'm saying? And so there's also no timetable on there, right? Like if I'm getting married in 6 months and I want to be a certain size in 6 months, well, then the fact that it's 6 months from now needs to be a very tangible part of my goal setting system, right? So again, we always use the SMART systems: specific, measurable, attainable, risky, timetable. So Daniel said, when you are writing your number up here, that he wants you to risk. Also make it attainable. Okay. So if you closed $60,000 in commissions last year, making this 6 million with not a real good game plan is probably not attainable. Okay. Does everybody have a number? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time independently. We're going to spend some time independently thinking about the 3 key focus areas that we are going to commit to in our business plan. And I want you to think about your skill sets. I want you to think about your talents. One of the biggest mistakes an agent could ever make is setting out on one path and then maybe opening up Instagram on your phone and seeing a realtor doing like coffee cafe. You know, this is Candace at the coffee cafe and she's doing some beautiful thing. And you're like, well, I want to be like Candace. And if Candace is doing coffee cafe, I should do coffee cafe. Well, it's not part of your skill sets, it's part of Candace's skill sets, and it's not on your business plan. So we're not going there. This is something that you are going to commit to, right? Now, am I saying that you shouldn't 1 quarter from now come back to this business plan and evaluate how you're doing and maybe make adjustments if it's not working? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that you can't determine an ROI on something until you've actually put in the effort, right? So you want to stretch when you're thinking of your 3 key focus areas, but you also don't want to kill yourself in the process. So whatever you're good at, if you're good on camera, if you love talking on camera, we all know that video is forefront. You know, you should have a YouTube channel, you should be posting lives, you should be posting video walkthroughs of any property in this town you can get through the front door of. It doesn't even have to be your listing. It doesn't have to be anything you're showing. Just get your body through the front door and post a live, you know? So if you're good on video, of course we want video as one of your focus areas, right? So does anybody have any question with that? And you're only picking 3 key focus areas. So a focus area might be something like video. It might be something like open houses. It might be something like networking. It might be something like circle prospecting, farming. Farming is huge, and farming takes a lot of money to get started. So if you have money to invest in farming, it's a great option. It is a huge commitment, both financially and time-wise. You can't send, you know, what they say is that when you're farming, it takes 7 touches for somebody that lives in that house to actually know who you are, right? Maybe your first campaign to your farm is a door knocker. Well, you just want them to see your logo and maybe your face on the way to the garbage can, because that's exactly where the door knocker's going. They're really not reading it, right? But if your face and your logo is on there, okay, touch 1. Now maybe you're sending them a postcard, right? Again, it's just touch to your name, your logo, your face on the way to the trash can. They say it takes 7 touches for you to actually become a part of that homeowner's consciousness. So when I say farming is a big undertaking, it is a big undertaking. It could be very expensive because we all know that the paper and the postage is expensive, and you can't just show up on their door every week. I'm here again. You're in my farm. They're not going to take kindly to that, right? So I'm going to give you guys some time to think about it. But if there's questions on the Zoom, go ahead and let me know, Lacey. But we're going to really take some time to dive into this and really think about the 3 key focus areas. They're going to get us where we need to go next year. That are things that we have natural skill sets and talent in. Then we'll stretch those 3 things. I feel like the Jeopardy song should be on. Da da. Jerem, come say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
They're working on business planning.
Business planning.
Yep, you can say hi to the Zoom world.
Hey, guys. 7 touches.
7 touches, he said.
Works. Yeah, well.
And if you have any ideas, but you're not sure, this is the time to ask. I guess I should be timing too.
Done.
That's awesome. We've got 1 done in the room.
2 done.
2 done. 3, 4. How are you guys doing out there? Go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know where you're at.
I'm still working. Anybody else? Any Zoomers done?
Almost.
No rush.
The other Steve. You just my open house site.
So many Steves.
Done.
We got it done. So Kim, they did vision boards first. That was tomorrow's session. Yeah.
I'll go back and watch those videos. I've got stuff at home to.
Yep. I highly recommend it. Okay, I think we're ready.
The biggest thing on my vision board from last year came true.
What
as
was it?
of A week ago.
Do you mind sharing it?
No, not at all. So we had found an ad for Taylor Morrison.
I
and-
saw you guys.
Yeah, in one of the magazines, and we put it because we were already talking with a company that invested in all of the Taylor Morrison model homes
Mhm.
in 17 or eight different states. and I think they bought like 70 models total. There's 17 here in Vegas, and we got the listings. So we just put up 8 incoming soon, just this week.
That's
and
awesome.
we'll get the others as they mature with their leases. So
Sorry for the interruption. We were sharing about a 2022 vision board success story, which is pretty awesome. So Steve and Kim are now listing all the Taylor Morris model homes in Las Vegas, 17 listings. That was part of the vision. So let's go. Vision works, right?
yes.
It's intention. So, what we're working on right now is the mechanism, and this is going to sound super strange, but what I'm going to tell you guys is that the mechanism doesn't matter. Mechanism doesn't matter. When your intention is clear, the mechanism will appear. But you have to start somewhere. We can't just lay in the backyard and sunbathe and say, my intention is clear, rain money on me. It's not going to happen, right? So the exercise of doing something, energy begets energy, right? And the more people you talk to, the more networking you do, the more you put yourself out there, just the better you're more comfortable you're going to become in your own skin as an agent. So that's really what these tasks are about, right? These tasks are just about being repetitive and doing it over and over and over. And they will change throughout the years, but congratulations. You're welcome. So yeah, you did. So who wants to share their top 3? Let's hear from at least 5 of you. 3 key focus areas. Yes, Cookie.
Video. Social media, different platforms that in.
Got it.
Building relationships, networking, and working on sphere, and open houses, and doing business from my open houses, and also including the videos on my open houses.
Absolutely. A lot of them are going to overlay. This is incredible. So for all of you that know Cookie, Cookie, right? So her 3 key focus areas this year are going to be video, open houses, and building relationships. I think it's a winner. And if you don't mind, I would love to use you as the example when we go down the columns to go through the tasks. Okay, let's hear from some more. Anybody on Zoom want to chime in? 3 key focus areas. You people are all napping in your bedrooms, aren't you?
For me, it would be social media on real estate stats, because everybody wants to know what's happening in the real estate world. And it
I
would
love
be
it.
videos like touring homes. I've done a few of those, and just work on connecting with people. That's going to be, I think, one of my challenges, but also I know that if I put in for it, I'm going to be very good at it.
And I'm sorry, is this Kim?
Diana.
Oh, Diana, I can't see who's talking.
Oh, it's okay.
Awesome. I love it. Those are great. Who else wants to share?
I'll share mine.
Okay, we got Kim.
So number 1 is video. Okay. Just video.
Just video.
Every day. Number 2, I've discovered a talent for model homes and new construction. So I'm going to focus on that this year. And then number 3, and I'm actually good at it, is cold calls. An hour a day is what I'm going to commit to. Yeah, I'm actually good at it, and I don't.
That's awesome. You can have all of them. Okay, so this is incredible. Her number 1 is videos. All packed in number 1. Her number 2 is new construction and model homes. So she's got the talent there. She's niche. Not only that, she's got a track record. So when I'm asking, where is your ROI? Kim brought it. My ROI is new homes, model homes, right? And then your number 3
is cold calls.
Cold calls.
Of all
God
things.
bless her. God bless her. I love it. That's great. Let's take one more share. Maybe somebody on Zoom.
Pam, I'll share.
Yay.
So this is the year I'm finally going to establish my YouTube channel.
Yes.
I'm in the process of doing videos over at Fairway.
Uh-huh.
So And a lot of them are going to be funny and kind of a lot about real estate, but other kind of community things.
I hope
So
Mr. Butters is in them.
of course he's going to be in them. And I want to do more community events here in my neighborhood. You know, in order for my
Awesome.
neighbors and people that I live around to truly get to know who I am. I started doing that a couple of years and that's kind of faded. So I want to refocus that, you know, whether it's a barbecue or other ideas of like, you know, donations to either the animal shelters or warm coats and whatnot. So I'm going to commit to doing that at least 5 times a year. And then the other thing, and I know this will probably resonate with a lot of people, but I remember Brent Gove, the first time I heard him talking about how he spent Fridays, I think it's 2 or 3 hours, focusing in on agents
Yes.
to develop your downline. And I'm going to commit to that. I'm not sure what day, but I'm going to put it in my weekly calendar, which I've not been very good about doing, and developing that.
That's okay, because we're going to time block you guys after this. So you'll have an opportunity to do that. And going back to your number 2, is that not a bitch when an open house sign goes up in your neighborhood? Do you not feel mad about that?
Yeah, it sucks.
You should feel angry when that happens.
Yeah.
But guess what? Who is that on?
That's on me.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It just happened around my corner. And I went, really? You know, and we can't help it if they've got like a daughter in the business, you know,
Right.
things of that nature are going to happen. But yeah, you know, it's right where you live. And there's so many things that you can do that cost you nothing, Ursula. I love the fact that you said, like, that's one of my favorite things to do. Animal shelters, like, don't throw your linens away and your blankets. For all you people, don't give them to Goodwill. Give them to animal shelters.
Exactly.
Old towels, old blankets, comforters, anything cloth, even if it's a curtain, give it to the animal shelters because they need them so bad.
Desperately.
Yeah.
They
And
go
it
through
costs-
so much laundry. Yeah.
and it costs you nothing, right? So you're doing something good for the world. You're getting to know your neighbors. You're putting yourself out there. It costs you nothing. And your ROI is going to be huge on that, right? So is everybody getting a flare? And before we move on, I just want to make sure nobody's stuck. Does everybody feel good with your 3? And so if you're on Zoom and you need a little support, or if you feel stuck, just feel free to unmute yourself and we can all talk through it. Okay, good. Now, bear in mind, when we do this next exercise, a lot of your things are going to overlap, right? So it's like if open house is on there, you're probably going to do a video at the open house. And if video is one of your other columns, don't worry about that, right? There's going to be a little bit of overlap and it's great. It's even better when they overlap and they support each other, you know, because then your business plan just blossoms and you're not so fragmented, so to speak. So I like this little blurb that I have up on your screen right now. Daily task. Now it's time for the rubber to hit the pavement. This is the mission where you start to put your plan into action. These daily tasks are the things you do every day, the habits that form the foundation of the road we are following. These are what you start and or end your day with. It should be simple, concise, and routine. Remember, don't look at this little 1 single page business plan and downplay it. This is so powerful because when you're committed to, and you're not going to believe how much time this is actually going to take on your calendar. This is time consuming, you know, but when you commit to doing it over and over again, habits will be formed and you will have new behaviors that are now automatic. Okay. Don't be afraid to commit to something because it's going to be for one year. All I ask is that you commit to it for no minimum, no less than a quarter. You're not giving it up. There's no give up in this, right? There's no give up. In a quarter, I want you to pull out your business plan and I want you to rate yourself. Where are you at? Is it working or isn't it working? You know, I don't know if anybody out there knows Patrick Bet David, but Patrick Bet David made a declaration and he said, listen, we're going to do a video a day. It's going to be 2 minutes with Pat. I'm just going to give information out and blah, blah, blah. He said, we're gonna do that for 2 years. And if it stinks, then we won't do it anymore, right? So he did it. He did a video a day, 2 minutes. It was usually 12 minutes with Pat because he talks a lot. You know what I mean? The first videos were horrible. He 10x'd his business after a year. Video a day. Just a video a day. 10x'd his business. And so we finally, like, his people were like, Pat, slow down. And he's like, no, we're going, you know. And you know, today he is who he is, love him or hate him, but he made a difference. You know, one of my other favorite stories is there was a family realtor that moved his family to Las Vegas from California. And his wife didn't work. She was a homemaker, and that's exactly how they wanted it, right? And he didn't want to disrupt that. But you can't bring your business with you to another state. You're starting over, right? So he came here with exactly 6 months worth of bills. They bought a home. He had 6 months in savings to make it in the real estate industry in Las Vegas. So he declared he would do an open house a day, 5 days a week. And he did an open house a day, 5 days a week. Hustled all his signs, hustled all of his own signs, door knocked every day before the open house. He stayed in one geographical area, right? It's not going to work if you bebop all around town, right? There was plenty of houses on the market at that time, so it wasn't hard to find a house to do an open house at. Sometimes he did the same open house all 5 days that week. You know what I mean? But he made such an impact that that guy was making like $2 million a year, second year in Vegas. That he had one focus area, an open house a day, 5 days a week, and he did it. So that's how impactful this could be. So if there's no questions out there, what we're going to do now is we're going to move to the action steps underneath each focus area you declared. And if you see, there's these little notes in the white side of the paper, and we're going to come up with 5 action steps for each focus area. So you've got your focus areas written up here. Now I want you to transfer, I just have to know if I'm moving left or right. Transfer the focus areas underneath the numbers down here. Transfer the title. So if number 1 is video, underneath this number 1, you're going to write video. Now we're going to come up with the tasks that you're going to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually to promote your video leg of your business. Okay. Let's say the next one is networking or relationship building, and you would put that underneath 2. And under networking relationship building, we're going to come up with the tasks that you're going to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. Okay. So this comes back to, Daniel, will you read the board? This comes back to all of those incredible money-making activities that we popcorned earlier in the night. And Daniel's gonna read them off.
Farming.
You might have to read a little loud for the people on Zoom.
Geographical farming, people farming, agent referrals, networking events, community events, social media, door knocking, handwritten notes, cold calls, biz votes, open houses, lender partnerships, follow-up, SOI, hosting classes, direct mail, circle prospecting, business pop buys, reverse prospecting, Facebook group posts, Facebook ads, target marketing, email marketing for rent by owners, absentee owners, attorneys, vendors, industry events, education, and hanging out with high net worth individuals.
HNI, that's a new acronym, hanging out with high net worth income people. So just for an example, and we're going to use an example, we're going to use Cookie as an example in the room, but just some things that I heard on there. If networking was one of my focus areas, I might say my daily task would be to make a very thoughtful new LinkedIn connection with somebody that I can network or collaborate with. Maybe I might have to put out 5 requests to get 1 good LinkedIn connection. Just throwing it out there. I like LinkedIn. I love getting business from LinkedIn. So that resonates with me, you know. What I might do weekly is I might attend an event a week, even if it's just a little mixer. It could be an industry mixer. It could be a mixer of, you know, I could go wine tasting. However, when I'm wine tasting, I know that I'm there to taste wine, but I'm also there to have real estate conversations with people, right? Maybe my monthly networking would be to host a class on Zoom. Well, that could be for colleagues, that could be for synergy, that could be for anything, you know? So you kind of get the picture. So Cookie, which line do you want to start with? We're gonna do one and then we're gonna let everybody have at it. Focus area, I apologize. Okay, so we're gonna do, as an example, we're gonna work with Cookie and one of her focus areas is video. So what do you think that you can do every day in reference to promoting the video leg of your business plan?
I'm trying to rethink, because I already in the morning do a live on my way to my just over broke.
Amazing. So every morning she's going to do a live regarding just over broke. That's
Usually it's an
powerful.
Inspirational in the morning.
Yeah.
It's an inspirational message in the morning. And I'm working on having because there's a day that's celebrated all the time, whether it's popcorn day or
Yeah.
bacon day.
Yep.
Find the
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
Okay, let's see if she just,
You're frozen.
yeah, if she's frozen, she might not. We may all be frozen for her too. Let's just give her a second to see if her computer catches up.
Okay.
And we're at, oh dear, darn it.
Hey, Pam, I wanted to add a couple of thoughts on video, if that's okay.
Please do.
So I'm not always comfortable with video, so it's definitely something that I'm challenged with. And so anyways, I have found that the videos that I post, if I include things that aren't necessarily real estate related, it allows a greater audience to get to know you and see you. And I've been able to develop, I feel, a better organic following from that. And so one example, just randomly back in June, I posted a video on Instagram about the new Cirque du Soleil show, Mad Apple. And that video alone got over 16,000 views,
That's awesome.
which I was like, wait, what? Now, I don't have 16,000 followers, but I definitely gained followers because of that.
Yeah, but you
And
got in front of 16,000 people.
yeah,
That's huge.
just randomly. And it gets, then people start seeing your name and familiar. So I feel like if you lean into what you enjoy and you love, posting videos like that, so it takes, I don't know if it's a burden, but it gives you an alternative to videos, and I think really broadens, your audience. And it's just weird that, what that can do for you and kind of those results. So that's been my experience. Like my husband and I go to the drag races, and that video that I posted of just car going from A to B, got almost 9,000 views. And so, and you have more fun. And then I feel like it's like less pressure to get these marketing stats that are important, but I really feel like I get more engagement on the things that people are interested in at Vegas.
Yeah, Daniel just said hyper local, and it's true. You know, it's interesting what technology has done to us, right? So what you just described is so important because Ursula, that gives people to connect with you, the ability to connect with you as a person, right?
Exactly.
There's Ursula the realtor, but there's also Ursula the person, and we all like doing business with people that we align with.
Exactly.
And so that just made, and don't be worried about not finding your tribe. Don't post a cat video if you don't like cats. You don't worry about it, right? It's not your tribe. You know, if you ride Harleys, post videos riding Harleys because your tribe will find you, you know? So it's so funny you said that. Yesterday morning, we're working on a big deal, right? It's a $300 million transaction. And so I'm dealing with these money guys and hedge fund people, and it makes me a little nervous. Okay. Like I don't even talk their language. Okay. But I got a text message from one of the guys yesterday morning, and he sent me a video of me and my husband lip syncing a Mariah Carey Christmas song. And he goes, I'm in. You're the best.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm in. You're the best. He's like, look what Facebook did. It said that I should be friends with you. How does it know? You know?
Exactly.
So it was literally me and my husband lip syncing Mariah Carey, sealed the deal.
And it was awesome. It was such a fun video. I loved it, Pam.
So don't ever be afraid to be yourself is the moral of the story. Right?
Exactly.
Just be yourself. I love
Yeah.
that. Thanks for sharing because it's so important. All right. So we are on daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual. A lot of people will get like weirded out on annual. If you get to that point and you can't figure out something that you can do once a year in that category, raise your hand and let us know. We'll work through it. We'll say 5 minutes. We're going to say 5 minutes.
You want to look and see what the chat, comments in chat.
Yeah, now that I can, right? LOL, that's better. Too shy. Oh my gosh, so that must be to the loom. It's perfect.
Anyone need water or pop? Yes, water, please. Water, 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 water. You want a Mountain Dew?
Did you say pizza?
Domino's when we need it.
Oh, Yukon Pizza. That's your phone, right? That's my daughter. Husband, yeah. Have you gone yet?
I have not.
Oh, you gotta go.
I'm hoping it didn't.
Oh, it's okay.
It's like,
I know, but you host, well. There. Yeah, exactly.
your place to sit down and eat.
Their space is an 18-seat restaurant, so there's 18 spots to sit. And they also have a slice window that will be open till 2 a.m. Downtown off of Maryland Parkway and Charleston, across on the west side of the Huntridge Theater. Yes, okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I saw that they opened up. They did, yeah, I'm super proud of them. They're great, and my other daughter works for them, my 2 sons now work for them. So it's like a real family business. My son-in-law's brother and his wife work for them. So yeah, it's just, it's awesome. Got a great story behind it. Yeah. They do. My daughter's vegetarian, so they absolutely have vegetarian and vegan options and some food. Items. Well, I'm plant-based when I'm not home. And then when I go out, My man is. Oh, okay, yeah, they definitely have those options on Mondays.
Everybody stuck? Is anybody on Zoom stuck anywhere?
I'm good.
Sweet. Tamika, I would say yes, it would be planning and driving traffic there, but Pam stepped away and I'll let her answer the question.
I know, right? Daniel, will you check on them in the Zoom world, please?
Yeah,
You're well, and there's Liz in there.
everybody's good. We got one question.
What's that? Thank you.
I'm stuck on annual video.
No video? Trying to think, one idea that I had when I was thinking about it, I'm not sure if it relates too much, but it was something that I learned in a conference. And they talked about like hosting an event or a party, like we just did a Christmas party.
Oh.
And
I could host one, I could do my party.
and then and if you do the party, so the big thing here is that there's not gonna be so many people that show up necessarily, but it's all about invite. So if you're doing a video, like one person, when I went to, I think it was the EXP thing, he literally just all day time block the day before, I'm gonna send a video to every single person I invite, a video text, like, hey, just a reminder, have a event coming up tomorrow. And it's just the act of the invite that's really the most beneficial part, just knowing that they got an invite, even if they don't show up, that's fine, but the act of actually doing a video and reaching out to them specifically.
So this summer we did the theater buyout.
Yeah.
And the top 10. And
get a question.
The minimum for a buyout is that you have to take the entire space. But they also have a deal where you can buy, I think it's 20 tickets, might be 40 tickets. 40 tickets for like $400. Well, that's not a very expensive, when you consider all of the, like $440 or $416. And based upon that, we were able to actually get them to give us a small space.
Tamika, are you there?
So.
I just see your question here.
Customer appreciation.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or you do
Oh.
buyout.
Can you unmute yourself?
Maybe have your-
I just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Especially in like. There's not really like a lot of people that-
So the question is, if your focus is workshops for new home buyers, where the workshop takes place quarterly, what will the daily, weekly focus be besides preparing? Would it be promoting? So my first thought process is maybe we change the actual focus area. Instead of saying workshops for first-time home buyers, maybe we just make the focus area first-time home buyers. right? And then your quarterly event is going to be a workshop for them. So what you could do weekly, you might be able to put out a tip for first-time home buyers, right? And you definitely want to align yourself with a lender. You're going to want to align yourself with a couple lenders who are very empathetic and good with first-time home buyers, because there's so many programs out there. You could probably do a video a week just educating home buyers on different types of programs that they could take advantage of. Just educating people on the possibility of buying the interest rate down. There's so many educational pieces that you could put out there. So I think if I were you, I would just change the focus to first-time home buyers and then make the workshop the quarterly event. Does that help?
It does. And I guess when I was thinking of the focus, I was thinking of actionable items and not necessarily like the home buyer. I was
Right.
thinking it had to be something like a video or something that you're physically doing. I didn't think of it from that perspective that that focus could be the people.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
So that makes a lot more sense.
Perfect. Yeah, you could do like, renter campaigns. You could do all kinds of things. Just really important to align yourself with a good lender who is going to like be there to support you, because let's face it, their biggest obstacle is financing most of the time, right? It's
Right.
either limited cash. And right now is a great time to support first-time home buyers. It's tax season. So a lot of people get nice little refunds and nice little bumps, and they get these tax refunds, and it helps a lot of them be able to be in a better position to buy homes. So it is not too early to start working that plan.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you ever need a place to hold the workshop, just let me know. My office is super sweet. And as long as it's open, we'll get you in.
Perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome. How are we doing in the room? Good? Okay, good. Is it clicking? Good.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a lot of YouTube videos.
So while you guys are working, I'm not plugging this because it's a client of mine. However, it is really, really good. So Think Media is YouTube fanatics, right? They actually started they started utilizing YouTube because of their homeschooling. So the only way they found out the best way to reach other people and communities that were homeschooling and to speak to them was through YouTube. And then what they got really good at YouTube, and their community just grew so fast, and they were so natural at it, and they were learning how to manipulate YouTube to grow faster and faster and faster. And it was just a natural for them. So they actually opened a company called Think Media. I was at an event of theirs last May. I think there were 3,500 people in the room. Like, they have a cult following. They have proven tactics if you want to master YouTube. So I highly recommend this book. This book is available to anybody in the room that wants it. And I only have one, but I think you just pass it down the line, right? Who has time to read it now and then pass it on to the other ladies? Or you know what? I'll see if I can get some more books out of them too.
I'll just hear it. I'll just buy it because.
I like the audio.
For my reading list.
Yeah,
this
and they
year
gave me
anyway,
the book and I did the Audible anyway, so.
Yeah, no.
What's the name of the book? I'm gonna try to look for it. What's the name?
Super fans. Pat Flynn. Highly recommend it. Yep. And you don't know about the fifth agreement, do you? This is totally off topic, but Cookie got here earlier and we were talking about this book, which is the best book of life, right?
I just picked that back up.
Yeah, I know. It's called The Four Agreements.
Oh, I haven't
The
read
four-
that yet.
The Four Agreements of Life. But what Cookie doesn't know is she's gonna get the fifth agreement.
Oh, I don't know.
It's, I don't understand why the book is thicker and it's only one agreement.
That must be a heavy duty agreement.
Crazy, right?
Heavy
It's
duty
been
agreement.
released.
Okay, so does everybody have a good handle on your business plan? Do you have at least 60% of that page filled out?
Yes.
Okay, so this isn't something that's gonna happen right now and overnight, and it might be something that you have to work on. Like, give yourself a couple more hours to work on this. But what I want to do is now, Daniel's gonna take you into time blocking. We're gonna get Daniel in front of the camera. Okay, so everybody got a little calendar. I put it in the WhatsApp string. So we all do life differently, right? Some people like paper, some people like, Google Calendar, like whatever works for you is a format that you should stick with, right? But it's going to be really, really important that now you take your business plan and you literally identify every day, every hour, every week, every month, every quarter, like you're identifying the dates and times that you are going to fulfill this business plan to manifest that number at the top, that annual goal right now, right? So we're going to commit to quarterly dates. They may change, maybe your event space isn't open at that point, or, you didn't realize it was a holiday. That's fine. But we're going to put pen to paper right now and actually make sure a couple things. Number one, that it's actually doable, that there are enough hours in the day to actually make this happen, and that you can still have a very well-rounded life, right? I like to liken the human being to a car, right? There's 4 sides to a human being. So we've got our physical, which is our, do you wake up in the morning energized, or are you tired before you even get going? Are you healthy? Are you not healthy? Do you, the everything that makes up the physical, how are you physically? And then you have your spiritual being, and that could be Christianity for you, that could be whatever it is for you, whatever spiritual is. It could be, you can call it a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it doesn't make any difference to me. Just the feeling that we're all connected and that there's probably something greater than us, the spirituality, right? And then we also have our mental wealth and liberty side, which is freedom. Can you do the things that you need to do and want to do when you need to do them and want to do them? A good example of freedom would be Mother Teresa. Okay. Mother Teresa took a vow to live penniless. She didn't have a dime to her name. But when that woman got sick, they flew her in a private jet to the best hospital in the world to heal her. That's freedom, right? You don't have to own the yacht, but can you go on a yacht? That's freedom, right? So we want to keep all the sides of the human being in alignment. So you're doing this incredible business plan, but what we don't want, you don't want to work yourself to death, and I don't want to see you guys work yourself to death. We just want to see you work smarter. And not only that, when you're taking care of your physical and when you're taking care of your spiritual and all sides of the human being, your work life will be what? Yeah, it's actually better, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it all relates too, like if you're taking care of your health and your body, how does that relate to the way you think? And you think, how you think creates your action, So if you feel good, you're gonna think good, and if you think good, you're more likely to make that extra call, more likely to go out your way to do that extra thing, to go above and beyond. So it all relates. And it's something, and I think SMART goals are so important, like the measuring part is so important, because once you go through the business, you're a couple years deep. I think all you guys probably have more experience than me, but it's like now you can go back and track, how everything correlates. When I'm not doing all the gratitude and stuff, how does that relate to my business? If I'm not making my calls, how does that relate to my business every single day? So, and then I think too, like, even I know this is kind of like going backtrack, but with like the whole vision thing, I think it's important to, and Pam helped me with this, but make sure your business plan is in alignment with your life, Like for me, like open houses every single day. It was something that I've seen other real estate agents being successful at, but is it something that I'm living in alignment? I hate doing open houses, So it's just like, just do more fun things. I love golfing, so that's why I insert myself with those people, So it's supposed to, it shouldn't be hard, it should be easier. And if you could write it on paper and the easier it is, the, you know, the more likely you're gonna do it.
Heard a great quote that said, what gets measured gets
Look.
moved.
Gets
Mhm.
accomplished, yeah.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
you gotta measure. You gotta measure where you're at.
Measure twice, cut once.
The fourth thing you said was freedom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's physical, spiritual, mental wealth,
And liberty.
and liberty.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, and another little side note, I think like the most, like how you build self-confidence is keeping the word with yourself, you know, so when you time block and you're checking off all these things at the end of the day that you did them, like you're building so much confidence and so much momentum. Like, I don't know if you guys read the book, The Compounding Effect, but especially in real estate, like it's not, transactions don't happen right away, you know, but if you know that you're keeping your word with yourself, like you feel the momentum building up and yeah.
So it's not always fun, right? When you're like, but I'm working so hard. Where's the business? Has anyone in the room been there?
Mhm.
You know, I'm doing what my mentor told me to do. I passed the test. I bought the clothes. I'm sitting in the office. Where's the business? So it's easy to give up, right? But it's a business worth building. And I don't know any business typically that would be profitable in its first couple years, right? This is one industry where you can get in with very little money, very little investment, and you can be very highly profitable in your first couple years, you know, but give it the time that it deserves. You know, create a plan, stick to a plan, make it habit, make it structure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I was gonna say too, just Pam said it earlier, but like the intention thing is so important. And like, what does that really mean? And for me, it means living intentional means having this vision of the future and getting in alignment with it. You know, it's, I think so many of us have goals, but since we're not achieving them or they're not there right now, we live in lack. But you know, what's the end product, you know, of that goal? And it's a feeling. So if you could bring up the elevated emotion right now and live that, you know, right now, I feel like people are successful long before they have the outside validation. You're successful in your mind and your body, how you feel and think every single day before you ever realize it. So
And you got to find that click, like whatever it is that can click inside for you, right? Like for me, it was, why not me? Now that might not mean anything to you guys, right? But for me, something that happened in my upbringing or something early on in my years, right? I had decided not me. I'm not that person. I could never close those kind of deals or, you know what I mean? Until the day I said, why not me? You know, and I live by those 3 words. And so it helps me reshape my attitude when I'm starting to feel a little poopy.
yeah, I like this. I like this one quote too. It's by Russ. He wrote a book, but it says, I'd rather deal with oh well than what if. And that always stuck with me. It's like, why not go all out? Because the biggest thing you see from older people that I've paid attention to is that I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. So like, that's my biggest fear is like being, you know, older and like, what if I did do that? What if I did go all out in real estate? You know, so you might as well just. It's much more of a burden than to be
Regret.
older and, you know, wish you would have done something rather than just going all out. If it fails, it fails. But at least you did all you can to do it.
Regret the things you've done, not the things you wish you had.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Okay, so let's take a minute time blocking. No, you're back here.
Time blocking.
Yeah, I'll get you a time blocking sheet. So go ahead and this thing is just not going to stay because you're just too tall. I apologize. Thank you, ma'am.
Probably take that light off.
Well,
Mm,
then
Set
we
it on
won't.
the stand.
The lighting is everything, man.
Well, then what we could do is
You're so smart.
change it up for you a little bit. How's that?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
How's that, brother?
Thank you, sir.
where are you? There you are. Okay. Right?
I'm blocking.
Not really. Married.
You guys ready?
They're ready.
Well, where do we start?
So what we'll do, go ahead and start with like, one column. And then figure out how we're gonna do that, right? So somebody give me a couple dailies. Give me a couple of your dailies.
Contact three renters.
Excellent. Contact 3 renters. So is that Monday through Friday? Okay, so Monday through Friday, what time are you gonna block in your calendar to contact 3 renters? And it could be different. It could be
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Your schedule, you could have kids that you drop off to school on certain days or
Oh,
things of
I'm-
that
I'm a
nature.
retiree.
You are not a retiree. You are an active real estate agent.
This is true. I'm retired from corporate America.
Perfect.
So it depends on who's on my list to call. So it's
Okay.
at their convenience,
Mhm.
but generally it will probably be in the
Early evening. So you want to say 5, 4, 6?
5.
Okay, so on your calendar. You could put the time, whatever your day looks like, you know, like my day, my alarm goes off at 5:30 in the morning, right? So whatever your day looks like, you would write your hours here whenever you're gonna start work, right? So at 5 o'clock PM is where you're gonna write contact 3 renters all the way across the board, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep,
First, we use the time box, then our work day.
exactly. Yep. And now,
So I think that a good point is that obviously if you are gonna contact those 3 renters, it's probably best to call them all at the same time rather than, you know, you call at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, that didn't go well. I guess I'll try again later. You might not ever get to later. And so if you have that time blocked out, I'm gonna call 3 people from 5 to 5:30 or whatever it is. So 5 to 5:45, then it's more likely to get done, right?
correct, 100%. That's why we're time blocking. And I also, just another side note, and this one is imperative, guys, and I want you all to hear me. Be careful what you ask for, because the universe is going to give it to you. The universe is a genie. It's amazing. The universe will give you everything you ask for. So I want you to be more specific using the SMART goal system about that ask. So maybe instead of contact or call, talk to.
I think that's actually what I-
Okay, good.
Yeah, I will talk to
So
3
talk
renters
to
and provide
3
them-
renters, right?
Yes.
Because if you write on the thing, call 3 renters, you could call and get voicemail and no return. And guess what? You hit your goal. Right? So we want to be super specific in the ask because the universe is going to give it to you. So talk to 3 renters, and she's going to do that at 5 o'clock every day. What's another daily?
Cold calls.
Cold calls. When is the best time to make those cold calls? When are they less angry? After coffee?
Not
Before
I
coffee?
say after coffee, 10 a.m. works for me.
Awesome. So how many people are you going to talk to a day?
Well. So I have the Mojo system, so I hope to talk to 10 people in that hour.
Awesome.
But it's an auto dialer, so it just keeps dialing until somebody picks up the phone. But when we say talk to somebody, I mean, some of those conversations.
Those
are
conversations-
very short.
And some are very lengthy.
And some of them are very lengthy.
Right. It'll all work
So,
itself out in the
Yeah,
wash.
I
Yep.
try to have a goal of talking to like real significant conversation,
Hmm.
10 people
Awesome.
during that hour of cold calling.
Okay, so from 10 to 11 AM, Monday through Friday,
Yep.
we're cold calling and we're having 10 conversations.
Yes.
Love it. It's perfect. So throw me some weeklies.
The open house.
An open house a week. Awesome. So is there a day a week that you would have that open house or would it fluctuate?
It could fluctuate.
Mhm.
My goal actually is 2, but that could be a lot.
Right.
But because I was thinking Wednesday, Saturday, so it's
Mhm.
either going to be on a Wednesday that week or a Saturday.
Okay.
that week.
So is there a day you want to commit to, like the Saturday? And if we can throw a Wednesday in, it's a bonus.
Yes.
So on your
No,
calendar,
because
which,
I have a standing appointment every other Saturday.
okay.
That was why it would be the different days.
Okay, so when you actually have access to a full calendar system, like maybe Google Calendars or a big book,
That's a
know.
mandatory thing before you leave. You have to have Google Calendar.
It's
Google-
amazing. I love it. Woman after my own heart. It's color coded even. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in the book and every other week, you know, you'll do Saturday, Wednesday, whatever it is for you, but it's actually gonna be in your book. And so when you're like, I don't know about you guys, but what I do before I go to bed every night is I think about what I accomplished, what I didn't accomplish. I think about what tomorrow is going to look like and what I need to accomplish. I even lay out my clothes for the next day. It's 2 sets of clothes. What am I wearing to the gym? What am I wearing to work? Right. I look at my calendar to look at my appointments so I know how to dress. Am I going to be out in the sticks, you know, walking on dirt or, you know, hanging out at the office? Right. And so, and then I'll look a couple days ahead too. So when you know it's an open house weekend, then you're going to be working on all of the flyers and the marketing and all of that good stuff that you need to be prepared for that open house on Saturday because it's in your calendar. Perfect. So what are some examples of monthlies?
One networking event per month.
A networking event a month. Now that's kind of difficult to time block, right? Because you got to find them. But I'm going to suggest you can usually find them like a quarter out. You can go on Eventbrite, you know what's popping in town, right? So there's really no excuse for not having monthly events blocked out for at least 3 or 4 months and be committed to it. Buy the ticket. Buy the ticket, be committed to it.
So when you say monthly event, it's something I'm going to attend
No,
that gives me an opportunity to network.
Correct. And like going back to Ursula's conversation about video, by no means does it have to be anything even revolving around real estate.
I think
It's
it's
just-
almost better to not be real estate.
Yeah, just an opportunity for you to insert yourself. Yeah, insert yourself with people. And the conversation is always so natural, you know, and then as soon as people find out you're in real estate, what's their first question?
What's the market?
How's the market? It always happens. Everybody wants to know what's going on in real estate. We're all affected by it, right? We either own a home or we want to buy a home or thinking about selling a home. How's the market? You know, and be ready to have those conversations and be ready to use your contract sentence that you helped develop with Cody, you know? So it all ties together. So what you're going to do is you're literally going to go down every single task in your 3 focus areas and you are going to calendar your year out as best you can, right? But it's the daily tasks and the weekly tasks that you really want to be on top of, because again, the repetition takes it from here to here. Repetition makes it habit, you know, and so pretty soon it's just going to be ingrained in you. You know, I'm cold calling, let's go, you know. And when you're cold calling, if it's your cold calling time, but you've got a home inspection, it doesn't mean you don't get to cold call. That just means that you know you have to reschedule it, right? Because we never want to let ourselves off the hook. It's okay to renegotiate. It's not okay to not do what we said. Yeah. So as long as it's on the calendar, you know if you need to renegotiate that time and those calls with yourself. And maybe it looks like the next day you have so like your day is open the next day and you're like, you know what, I can dedicate 2 hours to cold calls tomorrow. Perfect, right? But if it's in the book, if it's in the calendar, it's not going to get missed. Right? So I know this is all kind of dry, guys, and it's like I said, it's going to take you guys a couple hours to finish your business plan and to really delve into it and get dedicated to it. I do my entire life on Google Calendar. So I've got my calendar for the team that they see and they know when I'm free and they could jump on and have access to me anytime that they want to. I've got my own calendar that's my life. Like this is my me time, right? They know they're not allowed to jump on my calendar before 9 a.m. ever. Ever. 5:30 alarm goes off. I'm making my lunch, packing my lunch. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out. Nobody wants me coming to the office before a workout. Believe me. Let her get her aggression out, you know? And then I got to shower and I got to get ready and I'm here at 9 every day and I'm all theirs. Do you know what I'm saying? but that time is precious to me. That time is time blocked for me, right? And do that for yourself. Time block your personal time. They are non-negotiables. Time block time with your husband. You know, it sounds silly. Elon Musk lives by time blocking. Do you think he's somewhat successful? Lives by time blocking for the last 10 years. He's maniacal about it. If it's time to read emails, he reads and responds to emails. If it's not time to read and respond to emails, he doesn't care about emails. The world could be exploding around him. He doesn't care. He time blocks his children. Time with every single one of his children. Time together and separate time. They love it. Most people were like, oh my God, that's so, oh, like, how could you time block your children? When he they know they're going to have him, and they have all of him. All of him. And they don't even have to do anything special. They could just be hanging out in the house, but they know they get daddy, right? So he's built at least 3 pretty successful companies, you know, and he is maniacal about his time blocking. He says it's the key to his success. Be where you are, right? We liked somewhere along the way, multitasking became important. It's the devil. Multitasking is honestly the devil. You know what I'm saying? You do what you're doing. Be so focused on what you're doing that you're doing it of excellence, right? Do you want to be good or do you want to be great? Multitasking takes the great out of everything when it gets out of hand, you know? So I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. Does anybody have any last questions or final comments or concerns? Thank you.
You had a couple hacks with regard to time blocking. One was an app.
Yep.
that You use. What's that called?
What was that app called?
Was it productive?
Productive.
Productive. And
Oh,
then you-
there's all kinds of time blocking apps out there, guys. If you like to use apps, the time blocking apps are phenomenal. I like the one called Productive. You can upgrade, I think it's $14.99 a month. I was so maniacal in the app that you could even color code things, right? So work was one color, spiritual was another color, family was another color, me time was its own color, you know. And when you finish a task, you get like cheers and confetti and rewards. So if you're a person who's like, you know, you thrive off of that, if you like that dopamine hit, the apps are phenomenal. But most importantly, do whatever you're going to do, right? So if you're going to if you commit to using the app, but you're really not an app person, then don't use the app. If you like old-fashioned calendars, use an old-fashioned calendar.
So some of us are digitally oriented and some of us are analog oriented.
Absolutely.
So you also have a hack that you use. You have a book that you, an annual calendar book. right?
Yes.
And that is called.
Those are called high
performance.
So does anybody read the book Secret to High Performance? Great book, right? So he also put out a calendar book. Bye, honey. Thank you. He put out a calendar book to run your life by. It's actually really great. It gets you in such a great space. You wake up in the morning and you write down your gratitudes and your goals for the day, right? And then you have your calendar inside, and then you debrief on every day on the right-hand side. And if you're going to commit to it, it's an incredible tool. Incredible. It takes 10 extra minutes in the morning, 10 extra minutes in the evening. You're golden, right? So the only other thing I'm going to say in closing is that don't believe the news. People are always going to be buying and selling real estate, right? So oh, I'm sorry. So there's a little door on the right-hand side of the big doors that says exit.
Okay.
People are always going to be buying and selling real estate. Real estate will always be being acquired and disposed of. What we have to do is focus on where transactions are happening now and how to get more of them. And there will be an attrition in the industry. Unfortunately, a lot of people got licensed that will be leaving the industry, right? Your only competition is you, and how far you want to take this. There is so much opportunity. Millions are made in down markets. So I'm kind of excited. We needed a shakeup. Let's go, right? So there's nothing to worry about. Real estate is great. And 2023 is going to be a phenomenal year. Go get the business where it's at. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thanks, Pam.
Bye. Thank you, Ursula.
Thank you.